In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, I bear witness there is no God but Allah, who appeared in the person of Master Fard Muhammad. I also bear witness the most honorable Elijah Muhammad is his messenger and exalted Christ. And I also bear witness the honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan is the Jesus in our midst today and our last divine warner, teacher, and guide. It is in these names that I greet all of you, brothers and sisters, family and friends, in the words of peace. We say it in the Arabic tongue, Assalamu alaikum. Well, good morning to each and every one of you. This is your brother and friend, Brother Gerald X, and I want to thank those who have subscribed to my YouTube channel. Go ahead and invite family and friends to hit that subscribe button. I want to speak to you this morning on a subject dealing with 16-year-old teenagers, 15-year-old teenagers, 17-year-old teenagers getting unemployment. They call it jooging. A few days ago, I did a video on the PPP loan scam. But now, I want to touch bases for a few moments on this jooging scam, to where some way young 16, 15, 17-year-old teenagers have found out a way that they can get into the system and get unemployment. I want to share an experience that I had, and this was back maybe in June, July, when the $600 federal money was being added on to whatever you made in your regular unemployment. And a lot of people were getting like $900 a week unemployment, $800 a week. I was one that got the pandemic money for a little while. So, one day I was just, out and about doing some shopping, and school was out. It was back this summer, and I was around a couple of, teenagers who was just out, having fun. And I heard one of them, it was two of them, and they were sharing something with their friends. And one said that I figured out a way to where we can get unemployment. And remember, these are teenagers. No job at all. No job. No job at all. You can't get unemployment without a job. And he was saying that he had figured out a way to how to get unemployment in other states. Now, I'm in Atlanta, Georgia. So I got into conversation, and I was like, how in the world did you figure out how to do this? And he was like, he figured out some kind of way to where he did something and got unemployment in Hawaii. Now, he in Georgia, 16 years old with no job, but got unemployment in Hawaii. And he got him like a little online bank account. Because, the average 16-year-old is not going to have a bank account unless he owned it with his parents. But he showed me where Hawaii had put like $3,000 or something like that into his account. And he in Georgia, but got unemployment in Hawaii. And his friend showed me where Florida had put like $3,000 or $4,000 in his account for unemployment, back pay. Florida, but he in Georgia. And 16 with no job. They call it jooging. And they wouldn't even, really go into how they figured out how to do it. But apparently, you can be in one state and get employment in another state Apparently, you can be a teenager with no job at all and still get unemployment if you know how to do whatever you got to do it. And I told them, I said, well, y'all might think y'all getting away with it, but that's going to come back on y'all. And when it comes back on y'all, that's going to be some juvenile time for y'all. You know, they wasn't really worried about it, but that's what's going to happen. Because see, when the pandemic first hit, the IRS got so far behind. A lot of stuff they just didn't have time to pay attention to. So they was just giving out unemployment to anybody at one time and wasn't really paying attention to a lot of things. So a lot of people crept in and did illegal stuff. And now this is why you have a whole lot of unemployment fraud cases that are coming up now. Since the IRS is somewhat kind of caught up, they're catching a lot of stuff that might have happened 6-7 months ago. See, and this was unemployment fraud. So how do you, at 15, 16 years old, figure out how to get unemployment? And then you get it in another state. One thing that people have been doing for a long time, and I don't know if this is what these children are doing. You know, some people have figured out how to use deceased people's social security number. I mean, someone who may have died 10 years ago, someone who may have died 5 years ago, they'll use their social security number. And if that person had good credit, they can use a dead person's social security number to get loans, cars, houses, identity theft. Of course, they would have to do it online. You couldn't go in person anywhere and do it. But a lot of people have figured out how to get into the system and use dead people's social security number. It's identity theft. That's basically what it is. And in the streets, they call it jooging. And this is something that was being done through the unemployment system by a lot of teenagers. No job, but you still get unemployment. You get unemployment in Hawaii, but you stay in Georgia. You get unemployment in Florida, but you stay in Georgia. So I don't know the process of how that works, but they figured it out. And I've heard some more stories of how young teenagers, 15, 16, 17 years old, were getting unemployment. So they call it the Jooging Scam. The Jooging Scam. But, somebody had to teach them how to do it. I mean, you got like professional accountants, you got professional bankers and people like that who've always been doing that. They know the loopholes in the system of how to use other people's information and get money and put it into their accounts. It is something that's always been going on, with crooks in the government. But now some teenagers have figured out how to do it. So that's called jooging. That's called jooging. I would advise no one to get involved in that. If you know somebody who's did that and they're telling you they can help you get some unemployment that you don't qualify for, please, please, please don't allow them to do it. Please don't allow them to do it. So I just wanted to share that with y'all on this wonderful, beautiful morning. The Jooging Scam. Teenagers getting unemployment. The Jooging Scam. You in one state, but getting unemployment in another state. It's all illegal. So anything illegal, it ain't worth it. It's not worth it. I know a lot of us are struggling financially, and we all could use some extra money. But extra money ain't worth 20, 30 years in prison. It ain't worth it. So with that being said, I want to thank you for watching. Please share with family and friends. and hit that subscribe button. Until we meet again, peace out. Assalamu alaikum.